you have a ton of ebooks to read, but you just don't have the time? Or maybe you're trying to get that research paper done, or maybe get that report complete for work. Well, then NotebookLM might just be the answer. Hi, I'm Alan, and I'm the products enthusiast. And I'm here in this video to talk to you about NotebookLM and the power it has to actually read thousands of ebooks for you to help you with your studying. And that studying may be to create research papers, it may be to output important documents for education, it can be to output business text as well. NotebookLM can read almost any ebooks, and you can then query it by typing on the tool, but you can actually use the audio podcast feature and actually verbally talk to it as well and ask it questions and actually have a conversation to get out of it what you need. Now, if you think about it, that is incredibly powerful. Think about all the time you would spend reading one or multiple books to get that understanding and to think it through and draw those connections. But here you can have a chance to actually query it and debate with it and figure out what's important and pertinent to what you're trying to create. It's an incredibly powerful tool, and what's amazing is it is free to everyone and something you can just jump on with right now. So I don't want to waste any time. Let's jump right in now and see what it can do. When you start digging more into Google NotebookLM, you start to really open your mind as to what's actually possible with the tool. And one of them is actually just reading a book. There are so many books out there, so many things I'd want to read, and I just don't have the time. And Google NotebookLM can really help me put in certain texts, put in certain fiction or non-fiction books to actually help me drive out what I really want to know from them. Maybe I just want a summary for a paper I'm writing. Maybe I want to get the idea of really what's going on with the main characters or some certain specific questions about that book as a whole. What I can do is I can actually add that book in Google NotebookLM to do our thing and actually go through and ask those questions. Now, straight off the bat, I want to say there are certain formats that Google NotebookLM doesn't accept. It can't accept EPUB, which is the sort of electronic publications of ebooks. But what it can do is accept text files. So let's have an example of this now. If I go up to here, and I actually just Googled free ebooks, and I've got the first hit I got was Project Gutenberg. I went on to the most popular books, and I can see Romeo and Juliet here. So I'm going to click on that. I can see the formats. Now, we said EPUB can't be accepted, but plain text can. So let me left click on that. And I'm going to come up with this nice plain text on a web page of everything there. Now, what I could do here is I could go Command A on my Mac or Control A, and I could just copy all that content. And then if I open a Pages document, so I'm just doing this off screen for the moment, new document, go. Let's minimize this. Here we go. I've opened a Pages document. I'm going to Control V. I'm going to paste everything in there. I'm then going to File, Save, and then go Romeo and Juliet. Okay, I'm going to save that as well. So what I'm going to do next is I've now saved that as a Pages document. Now, Pages document is also not supported, but what I can do on the Pages document is I can simply just take this file and then I'm going to export to PDF. I'm going to generate a PDF, save that in my documents, and that PDF is now in my documents. Let's go back here. And then now, if I go into my documents, I can grab that PDF, drag it in, and it's being uploaded as a source. So you give it a moment so it can upload that, and let's see how it looks. Here we go. So immediately it's giving me a summary. It's giving me a nice icon, and I can start asking detailed questions. How does conflict shape romantic relationships in the play? Sounds pretty interesting. How does fate influence individual choices and their outcomes? Another interesting one there. And just like everything else we've covered in this course, I can ask all these questions. You're going to get the sources, you're going to get the reference points, you're going to get absolutely anything as if it was any other source. But it is an entire ebook. And you can try this with all sorts of ebooks. This can accept 500,000 words in a single source. And if the book's somehow even longer than that, you can actually break that into multiple sources in multiple chunks and just have part 1, part 2, part 3. I can generate the audio overview, and I can actually have a conversation with those AI about this play and actually understand it better. There's a whole load of potential here for understanding books. I like to imagine it as far as learning certain key texts as part of my job, maybe I'm trying to progress in my career. So actually understanding some of those technical books, sort of non-fiction that is teaching you a whole host of things. I can ask for the most key themes in the book, the most interesting points, and get them to break them down for me in a conversational way. A whole load of potential here that can really accelerate how many books you get through in a year. So pretty straightforward and easy stuff. Definitely want to give a go, and I would recommend you follow that same web link, which I'll put in the description of the chat, and have a go yourself. Just grab some random ebooks and just see what you can draw from it so you can understand. Have a play and see how great this tool could be for you. And have a just think about more and more of the different sources, ebooks or other documents like that you can bring in to help you with your studying and research. Once again, thank you for listening. Please do like and subscribe. See you next time.